Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, which are the tabernacle of David that have been set to be the ruling class people here on earth, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. All right, the judges that will enforce the laws of heaven under the authority of who the world fraudulently and falsely calls JC. All right, with King David at the head of that. For in the Holy Bible, he has promised to be the king over Israel forever in an everlasting, never-ending kingdom. The kingdom of heaven will be here on earth, right? With everyone subjugated to the Bible, and the authority, the government here on earth will be the 144,000, 12,000 men from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, which primarily make up the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? But you cannot forget or disregard the fact that the Israelites are scattered among all the races, among all the people, right? And they will be gathered up out of those places where they're scattered to. Okay, that's fact. So this isn't a black or, a black only thing, as some would like to believe. And to the few Akwaf, meaning the sisters that are listening and learning to you, I say shalom. This is your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth. And I had a couple receipts I was sitting on, and got a video from our beloved apostle, a Ram Lab, and I opened it up, and it was about the surveillance through the phones. Okay, that video at the bottom right corner. And Israeli surveillance company is hacking phones globally. Celebrate expose. And I'm not shocked at that, but that led me to this channel, the what and why. And it's amazing how many channels and how many people. See, here's the thing. Esau, Edom, Amalek cannot hide themselves anymore. Let's get some scripture. This is and I think the name of this video is going to be Anti-Semantics and the Victim Villains. All right, because every time you catch up these victim villains, you get charged with anti-semantics. All right, and no matter what kind of wrong that they do, they can put up shields and put a soldier up against the wall and gang rape them, and when you call them out on it, you get labeled anti-semantics. All right. And just so you know that the female, and she was an older woman, still attractive too for her age. She was a general, Israeli general that exposed that crime, admitted to exposing it. I guess they knew it came from the inside. And she's disappeared. She resigned from her position and she disappeared. And so I'm going to just, like how they sent the Israelis down to South America and taught the cartels how to dissolve bodies in vats of in barrels of acid. I'm going to assume that's probably what happened to this general. And she was a high-ranking attorney in general. So that's what makes this so damaging. And Bibi Milkowski said this was the worst thing ever, and the people of Israel, the Israelis came out in masses to support the soldiers that did it, the right to rape. So people starting to see the truth, and these clearly cannot and are not the children of Jacob, of Yasharallah, the true children of Israel. All right, because they don't follow, because, Leviticus 20:13, a man would never do that to another man. All right. And the Israelites also would not all have sex with the same woman. So who knows how many of the detainees are being are being sexually assaulted on a regular basis by these same so-called brave warriors that that Kunalite Mayweather was talking about. Okay. But this is Jeremiah 49. No, I'm going to read Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So remember that Amalek will be at the head of the nations, all right, upon the return of the Lord. Well, the number one nation in the world, clearly, the most important one, has to be Israel at this point. Because they can hack your phones here in America. In America, the FBI showed up to some guy's house in Texas because he wrote something about his disagreements with Israel. Then they also have the 36 states that signed that document. Now some new code. If any business outwardly doesn't support Israel, you can be denied taxes and, or whatever. You can be denied aid, to your state in the event of disasters, which they can aim weather machines and create a disaster. All right, just to learn you a lesson. How Larry from the Three Stooges would say that'll learn you. But you know what? One Larry is Amalekite. But anyway, but yeah, that's what's happening. Okay. So I'm going to just share a few receipts. Things that happen when so right here it says top IDF prosecutor, she was a general, who leaked war crimes amidst burying other investigations. So, so there's other things, but here, it reads, damn it. Trying to make this clear. There we go. So it says, Netanyahu states the rape of Israeli soldiers of Palestine prisoners inside a team caused enormous damage to the image of the state of Israel and the Israeli army and our soldiers. This may be the most difficult propaganda attack. No, the attack was when your men stuck their little bitty pink rods up some other man's, boo-boo hole, all right, against his will. He didn't want to be, do no mo acts, and you forced him to do it. How is this a propaganda? You see what I mean by victim villains? They rape somebody and then they make themselves the victims. This is unbelievable. He said the state of Israel has faced since its establishment. I do not recall an innocent incident centered with the degree of force that requires the independent investigation not affiliated with any party. An investigation, I expect such investigations conducted. Well, there needs to be, and here the men, all masked, all right, with their lawyer, that, that put their little penises inside somebody's boo-boo hole against their will while they were in captivity. Okay? Those dudes, they're the ones that did it right there. All right? It says, and today the rapist published a photo boasting while masked. See, I guess they're not so proud after, because this way they can travel back and forth to America. All right, because, America has laws against pedophilia. That's why they run to, over there when they do stuff, after they do something, because you can't extradite somebody back from that place. Isn't that something? you can't be extradited from there. But it says, and the rapist published a photo boasting while masked after the press conference so as not to be identified and prosecuted judicially abroad. And the most important thing is that all of Israel, no one is talking about the heinousness of the rape, but rather angered and focused only on the leak of the videos and expose the crime. And this is what really bothers them. That's what they're mad about. You know, how dare you? Okay. Meanwhile, they love throwing shade on anyone else. It says, the administration has designed drug cartels as terrorist organizations while claiming Trump interfered. Claiming Trump has inherent constitutional authority in order to strikes to defend the country against attacks. But the legal experts note that gives Trump the power to unilaterally execute civilians who are not in any meaningful sense akin to terrorist groups or waging war in the United States with zero process. Meanwhile, lots of evidence cast doubt on whether some of these people were even trafficking drugs in the United States first place. So basically, they just kill at will. This is an Edomite thing. All right. And Trump, the reins of Trump is held by B.B. Milkowski and his people. Smith said that the official legal rationale offered in this week's Armed Service Committee briefing has gotten even more troubling. He said people who are merely affiliated with groups that Trump has designated as narco-terrorists, but under questioning, they refuse to say what affiliate even means. So see how much more is being done with ICE here in America. Now, you know, I mean, with U.S. citizens being snatched up and shot now. All right. It's only going to get worse. They did not in any way, shape, or manner or form explain what the ceiling and the floor, why the ceiling and the floor are affiliated. Smith told me theoretically that could go beyond whether there's an actual action of moving drugs. So anything to get their way. And clearly this is about land and oil and what America does, what the West does. All right, because there never was any wars, weapons of mass destruction, but yet America, you know, spilled trillions and millions of people's lost their lives, all based on Israeli intel, which was all wrong. There was never any weapons of mass destruction. All right, this was for the Greater Israel Project with these imposters over there trying to expand and take it and colonize even more. This is all about colonization. All right, Edomite colonization, because those Israelis over there are Edomites, the same as the ones here in the West in America. But they are the chief house, and America is being left behind and suffering because the Edomites, the Amalekites, are not sharing the wealth and the power with the rest of you Edomites. This goes back to the whole creation of the white race. See, that was your gift. You got to. It was Amalek that came up with that. They let you be white, or created this whole whiteness thing, and then let you get front of the line privileges. And then since you became white, they've been telling you that all your issues and problems are because of brown people. When the truth of the matter is them not sharing the wealth or the power with you. All right. They let a few of you rise and make millions. All right. And get wealthy, but still kept you under. And then fast forward to Jeffrey Epstein, fast forward to modern day, they set him up and he invites you out to the island, tells you go get a massage, and then all the cameras come on. And now they got you. And next thing you know, you can see the second video here with this ninja woman, pro-Israel ICJ judge exposed. All right. Censor summit exposed. Did Jillian Siegel give false evidence at the parliamentary inquiry into anti-Semitism? Yeah. Anti-Semitism envoy exposed Jillian Siegel and the Israel lobby's terrifying plan for Australia. So that's what they do. They hit you with the anti-Semantics label, and then they get, and they get all kind of aid from around the world, and they just misuse people and get to misuse funds and make themselves wealthy as they oppress other people. And I tell you, man, that Jillian Siegel, boy, that's one pathetic specimen of a woman. But anyway, yeah, but Esau Edom is called up. Matter of fact, let's see if I can find her. That woman that's missing. I regret that because I had a few images of her, and I deleted them, and I regret that I did. And they love to use distraction stuff. Like right now, as they were getting caught up, they put out all this information about to get the people, the eyes of the people to look the other way from all the billions of money that goes to the Israelis. They've put out this whole campaign about all the money going to the migrants as far as for medical care and stuff, and migrants don't even qualify for federal Medicare and aid. So that's most of that information is just untrue. The same way that they put up this woman, this woman who died on the train supposedly, but they had already used her as a medic who died in Ukraine. Okay. And as a matter of fact, there's I haven't seen it myself, but it says an image of her time-stamped 11 minutes after her supposed death in the psyop with her and the other crisis actor. The other crisis actor that was involved in a fake incident on the train. That 11 minutes after her death, they time-stamped her walking by in the next station. So, yeah, let me see if I can find that. And if anyone can find that, could you please place it on the comment board? All right. Let me see if I can have that. Yeah. And I guess Host Talk Central, maybe you can go and find it through there, but it says, breaking, newly surfaced footage shows Irina Zaruskis walking past the next station, time-stamped 11 minutes after her declared time of death. And see, this was during the campaign to make everyone have hate and acts, and act toward, the so-called Negro. So she and this crisis actor, because, from what I've told, I'm going to do more research into this, because I don't like putting up stuff where I don't have more receipts. So I'm going to, seek to get those, because I've seen them. I just really wasn't focusing on it. But he's appeared in other things as well. So, they love to use these crisis actors, and just like they use the AI video to try to demonize those young Jakes, and say that they were threatening ICE agents. So they love to use propaganda and distraction. Okay, so now they've been trying to say that the migrants are getting, that this is why the government is shut down, because the migrants, and they don't have money for SNAP and all this other stuff because of migrants. But then the truth of the matter is, if you just cut out the untold billions, because outside of the 4 to 10 billion that annually goes to Israel that we know about, but through all the other schemes, who only the Lord knows what's really going there. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So eventually this is going to have to shut down this internet. All right. Because they just keep getting exposed more and more. So let's see if we can. Oh, wait a minute. I was trying to find her face and her name. Because, yeah, I had some receipts, and I think I may have used it in a video, and then I deleted them. But I actually, that's actually a hot subject right now. Which still, well, they're going to try to make it go away because they don't want to, when something is condemning to them, they just don't put it in the news, and they look for the next news story to put another face, especially if it can be brown. They need you to focus on other things and other people. Yeah, top stories. It's still a top story. Here we go. Yeah, Israeli scandal as top military lawyer resigns. Goes, I'm going to screenshot some of these right now so I have them. Yeah, that's Jerusalem Post. So here, we'll read this one. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Ex-IDF lawyer Tomer Yerushalmi found alive near Tel Aviv beach after suicide concerns. Okay, so I guess they found her now. Okay. IDF military advocate General Yafat Tomer Yashimumi seen at Supreme Court in Jerusalem, October 1st, 2024. Oh, no, this can't be right because he's missing now. So I don't know what that's all about. That's saying 2024. All right. Israeli rocked as top lawyer resigns, goes missing and thrown in jail over leaked video. So yet again, she's a lawyer and a general in the IDF. And I guess that was so disturbing to her. Lawyer arrested over leak of video allegedly showing Palestinian detainee abuse. Well, they showed them getting gang raped. All right. And I can only imagine what they do to women. All right. And what's disturbing is how the people were angry about the soldiers being exposed and not about the rape at all. But yet these are supposed to be the people of the Lord, and they're protesting the right to rape. Yeah. Like I said, Leviticus 20 and 13 for those Pink City soldiers that's enlisted in their IDF. But this is Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their hearts, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So just as the end day prophecies tell you that Amalek will be the first of the nations, he would be ruling over all the nations. It also tells you that Amalek would appoint the Holy Land into his possession. And they've parted that land. All right. Because, you got Ishmaelites, Palestinians there, and then you have Edomites, the Amalekites. Those are the main people that are there. All right. So everything is coming to pass. All right. Matter of fact, let's read some more Jeremiah. We'll wrap this up. This is Jeremiah 49. I'm going to start at verse 11. Just read down to 17. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. See, that's why that soldier went against them. That Job 27:15, the Edomite woman, the curses are falling on Edom. His women are turning on him the same as the Judite, the black woman, turned on, so-called black woman turned on black men. Now it's starting to happen to Esau. All right. He's starting to his women are turning against him, including formerly, right-wing racist, women. They're spilling the beans on all the dirt that's done. It says, for thus saith the Lord, or thus saith Yahweh, behold, those whose judgment was not to drink the cup have surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Shall not thou go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So that that cup that we were forced to drink was the cup of slavery and a cup of continual oppression. All right, because that's what we face here in the West. All right, we're constantly oppressed, and people starting to see that now. All right, the illusion of freedom here in the West, especially for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans here in America. We've never really been free. All right. We were slaves off the chain, so to speak. Freedom to move around. But at the moment you pissed off master, he cut your freedom short. So you can either be in a physical prison or you can be in a gigantic prison, which is America. You have the freedom to move from sea to sea, but you still can't go or leave it without permission. All right. Or really enjoy the fruits therein, without doing certain things, like all the celebrities. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation and a reproach and a waste and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. So all the places in the world where these colonizers are, right? Basra was a chief city among Edom, all right? The stronghold city. So with them being a ruling class people, Basra represents wherever Edom is ruling from. So from the land of Israel to America, Australia, South Africa, all the different places in Eurasia. Okay. It says, I have heard a rumor from Yahweh that an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and arise and rise up to the battle. So we're approaching, the third world's war, the third woe. All right. The Bible speaks about the first and second woe, and how the third woe will quickly come. Well, we're here now. And all the birth pains that comes with that destruction, that baby chaos is about to be born. That actually that's popped his head out. All right. But that birth of chaos has already begun, man. It just, and soon that baby's coming all the way out. All right. It's crowning right now. Okay. The baby chaos is crowning right now. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Everybody hates the little hats right now. That's why they're pushing so much propaganda to control, that bottom right video. Your phone is not safe. Your computer, because they don't want people talking about them or exposing them, because they want to always try to make themselves look like they're the good, and pure people and this, that, and when they're the complete opposite. They're actually the problem, and the world is seeing that, and they don't like that. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Thy terribleness have deceived thee in the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou should makest thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from hence, saith Yahweh. So, so Edom, he originally came from the caves of Petra, of Mount Seir or Selah. Okay. And then when he fell from power, when the fall of Rome, he got pushed and forced up to the Caucasus Mountains. And then the devil got loose, Satan got loose, the adversary, the human adversary, for a short period of time. And look what he's done to the world in that period of time since the Renaissance. Whitewashed history, destroyed the air, destroyed the soil, destroyed the water. Everybody's sick with cancer and dying and living alternative lifestyles. Okay? Sexual organs are failing both men and women. Right? Everyone's full of cancer. Verse 17. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. All right? So everyone's mad and effed up behind these, little hats, who are constantly being, the villain, screaming that they're the victim, right? And when you point it out, you get labeled with anti-semantics. So with that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakahak, Wadash, Kwam, Yasarala, Abba, Babal.